listening to the Chartographers.
You are listening to the third season of The Chartographers! It is a music-loving podcast for music-loving people. We take every single album by a particular artist and we rank it from worst to first. And the thing is, we're recording this podcast in the year 2018, and it's kind of a sea change that's happened. In 2017, and when you look at how music is sold and what have you, for the longest time, you think of all the genres in the world, you think of, like, everything from soul to classical to jazz to, pop, whatever. Pop rock has always been the biggest selling genre every single year for decades and decades on end. In 2017, the sea change happened where rap suddenly became the most commercially viable form of music in the US, and it's crazy and it's awesome. And so just like any other genre, you're gonna run into your fucking one-hit wonders. So if you're annoyed by Designer or Lil Pump, don't worry, they are gonna fade out of our memories soon. Salento! And also, most importantly, the rappers that are like establishing entire cultural forces in and of themselves, they're the people that know the past and recognize the past. You think about Kendrick constantly referencing Tupac and everything that he does. You think about even Eminem dropping lines about how important it is to listen to MC Ren. It's great. And when you're looking back at the past, you're thinking about great rap groups like the one that we are talking about on this episode. Guys, we're going to dive into it. We're going to talk about the AT-Aliens, Atlanta's finest, the Playa and the Poet. That's right, guys. This week, we're going into the discography of the one, the only, a group that broke up so that one of the members could drop hot albums and the other one could drop new razors. That's right, guys. We're talking about OutKast. 2 shades deep if you're nasty. So OutKast is two amazing people. It is Andre Benjamin, a.k.a. 3 Stacks, a.k.a. Johnny Vulture, a.k.a. Andre 3000. And it is also Antoine Andre Patton, a.k.a. Daddy Fat Sex, a.k.a. Sir Lucius Leftfoot, a.k.a. Big Boy. And they are fucking amazing. They're teenagers. They met in fucking high school and started, realizing they had a real knack for this rap thing. But most importantly, though, they got with a group. They got together with Organized Noise back in the day. And what's interesting is that being based in Atlanta, this was like early 90s, all everyone talked about was the East Coast, West Coast thing. That was the predominant cultural and commercial thing in hip-hop. To be from anywhere else is weird. No one's talking about those Tennessee rappers, for a reason. But here's the thing. They established themselves very early, and Organized Noise, unlike doing the scratching or sample-based things a lot of other rap groups were doing, they were doing live instrumentation, so it sounded different. It sounded organic. They were booed when they won Best New Artist at the 1995 Source Awards, but they wound up putting the South on the map, and Southern Dirty South hip-hop has become a force in of itself, and they have had game-changing, cultural-affecting albums, and we are gonna talk about and rank them today. I'm really excited about this, just so you know, guys. Who are the people doing the ranking? Let me tell you. First off, me. I'm Evan Zadi. You might know me as the interviews editor of Pop Matters. You probably know me as the boring old host of this podcast, and that's okay. Because if you know anything about this podcast, then you know the person sitting near me, the co-creator of the podcast, and most importantly, the Andre to my big boy. That's right, guys. Taran O'Reilly is in the house. Taran!
Woo. Hi!
How you doing?
Feeling great, feeling good. How are you?
This has been a week, let me tell you, because this is one of the shorter discographies we've done for a while, but it's also
No, don't say that. Fewest albums. Sure. This is over 8 hours of music.
Yes.
It is plenty long.
Yes.
There is more than enough to talk about.
Exactly. So the thing is that while we could talk about and dig into OutKast, we can't do it alone. We never can.
We
know this. And so that's why we had to bring in our own Organized Noise to help make this happen. So guys, let me tell you, we have a returning guest and a new guest. First off, you may know him from his amazing e-gaming accomplishments and victories. You can see him on Twitch and everywhere else as PXGiRedman. And most importantly, I think the crowning achievement in his life, potentially, was when he was on our Season 2 episode when we ranked the albums of Kendrick Lamar. Guys, Shannon White is in studio!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How are you doing? It's great to be back to talk about some OutKast. Thank you for having me on again, Evan. I've been looking forward to this. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't prepared for the 8 hours of music initially. I was like, whoa,
Right?
no wonder they putting out music. They have enough. But I'm definitely ready to dive into this. This is great.
Awesome. I'm really excited about it. Also, that's awesome. And here's the thing. Our other guest here, he is a dear, dear friend. You can find him in Chicago at Comedy Sportz. He is a team member there. He is amazing. He is bringing the knowledge. Guys, Zheryk Badugu is here in studio right now. Zheryk!
What up, though?
How you doing?
Man, I'm just chilling, you know what I'm talking about? I'm out here just like living. I'm hoping to give something for you, know what I'm talking about? I'm hoping you enjoy this on your transit or your travel as you go around, know what I'm talking about? And I just hope you all get out and get some today.
All right. And that's the podcast, folks. All right, so OutKast. Man, let me tell you something. They are weirdos. They are innovators. They've done a lot of stuff. And the thing is that unlike other artists that we've done, especially a lot of rap artists where you have to think about mixtapes and all the other fuckery that goes on there, this is pretty straight up. They have 6 albums. They have Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music from 1994. They have 80 Aliens from 1996. They have what was some considered the commercial breakthrough in terms of Aquemini in 1998. They have the big one, which was Stankonia in 2000. They have an album that we're going to talk about in a little bit called Speakerboxxx The Love Below in 2003, and there was the soundtrack to their feature movie that they did, Idlewild, in 2006. Now, the reason I want to talk about Speakerboxxx The Love Below is that technically it is an OutKast album. It is a double disc Grammy award-winning Album of the Year album, but it is 2 albums. Like Frank Ocean, it's 2 albums. The thing is, the Speakerboxxx The Love Below, they're both solo albums contained within the OutKast name. Now, I'm pretty sure you, listener at home, you probably have thought the same thing we have. Are you going to rank them together, or are you going to rank them as separate albums? It does come under the OutKast brand, and Andre never released another solo album after the fact. I think it's fair to say that we would consider it together as a single OutKast album, even though it's 2 discs. Mm-hmm. So I just want to know from our council if we have any thoughts or disagreements or anything else like that.
While it is a very long album, I would rank them together as well under one umbrella because it is OutKast, and you hear a lot of both of them on each other's solo efforts within this album. So it's like, for me, they won a Grammy together. Yeah. So that's what I'm taking.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I'm going to say I agree with putting them together. I have a different opinion if they were separately, obviously. Yeah. But we haven't listened to Andre 3000 solo album. We listened to a Big Boy solo album, and this is not one of them. Okay. So I will put this as an OutKast album.
I'll agree with that. Yeah. This is definitely still feels like OutKast.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, cool. In that case, we got it. 6 albums, 6 slots. We're going to rank them from worst to best. Southern Playlist, Cadillac Music, 80 Aliens, Aquemini, Stankonia, Speakerboxxx Love Below, Idlewild. Guys, we're going to rank them. We're going to start, as we always do, with the debate, open opinions. I have ideas, but you never know where they're going to go. So, number 6, lowest ranking, worst best, if you want to think about it. Shannon, you've been on this podcast before.
Yes.
But Zheryk hasn't.
Okay.
So, as Zheryk gets a very special honor. You're in the hot seat, buddy. Right. You're here. You're in it right now. Mm-hmm. So we're just talking about it. We're not saying anything. But out of curiosity, what would you nominate as the worst OutKast album?
See, I'm a fan of OutKast because I enjoy hip-hop and grew up enjoying hip-hop. That being said, this album is not a hip-hop album. And that's why I put number 6, Idlewild.
It fucking has to be, though, right? It never really does. So for those who don't know, it's the soundtrack to a film. Now, little did we know, going into this week, Taran and I, when we went into Research Week, we watched the goddamn film. Mm-hmm. It's fascinating how so little of the movie has anything to do with the soundtrack. The soundtrack is very much a songs inspired by, because for those who don't know, it deals with Rooster and Percival. And Percival is the piano-playing mortician's son, who is like, oh, I want to be a star. But then you have Rooster, who is, he's the pimp. He's the guy that's, doing all the alcohol running back then, and now he's a club owner, and then Terrence Howard's the villain to just shoot people and be a character named Trumpy. Like, it's a whole thing, guys. It really is. Paula Patton's wonderful.
It's basically just Moulin Rouge in Atlanta with more shootings.
Yeah.
And nowhere near as good. So the thing is that, we went into it because, I've heard Idlewild before, I kind of wanted to put it in context, and then in the movie, they use pretty much nothing but songs from fucking Speakerboxxx Love Below, and, I get it, Rooster is a great song, they give it some verve, and also, in the movie, Big Boy shows up, alright? He really does. He's the entertainer, he's the player.
And the best sequences are the songs from Speaker Box that are being danced to in the club. That's like the biggest reason to watch that movie if you're going to.
Yeah, please don't. You really, really don't.
That's a big F.
You're not missing much.
But so for something set in the 1930s, kind of Cab Calloway style, this is an album that's very much inspired by that. So that's why the first single off it, Mighty O, it borrows that Cab Calloway line of Mighty Odi, 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 and like then it kind of. After they did the solo album thing with Speaker Lux of Love Below, there's a couple songs where they're on it together, but for the most part, it's like every other track. It's either Dre or it's Big Boy, which is like fine. I understand the criticism of Speaker Box Love Below of like there's one really good album between these two albums. Like some people say that. I kind of can see where they're coming from. But here they kind of did that, kind of like every other song, and like Dre kind of sucks at this point, guys. That's what I think.
Well, I mean, in my opinion, I think after Stankonia, 3 Stacks kind of gave up on being a rapper, and he wanted to be an artist. You can kind of hear that in you know what his take on the Love Below was, but you can really hear it here in Idlewild. He's straight up like doing like old timey show tune songs like on here, like he's like trying.
When
to...
I look in your eyes,
like
did anyone need that?
No, not
When I look in your eyes,
and this is very Cotton Club sounding. But funny enough, while I agree with Idlewild being the worst on the list, this has 2 of my favorite OutKast songs ever on it.
Okay.
Hollywood Divorce and Morris Brown.
Okay.
like Hollywood.
I love Hollywood Divorce.
Oh my god.
That was peak Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
It's true.
It was peak Lil Wayne, and while I
It
get
was his era.
I can understand why people be like Andre 3000's verse is kind of like with
I
the
also just hate that
ABC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that production.
Okay.
See, I love that production. But I'm one of those people where I can like something a lot, but I can understand why people wouldn't.
Right.
So while it's a fan favorite, it's a guilty pleasure for me. I can understand why people probably wouldn't like Hollywood Divorce and things like that.
And I thought Hollywood Divorce was probably something that was like 3 Stacks. Like I get with ABC rap. Get tossed out. But I felt like that was him deflecting to some real shit he was processing. Because he had just like around this time was this 2006?
2006.
So he's about 2 years removed from that like divorce with Badu and all that stuff going down. So I'm sure he's processing some real feelings when all this is going down. So
And that's great. I wish he would articulate them better on the fucking album. Honestly, you know, like
career after
No,
divorce.
instead we get what is it? Chronometrophobia.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dre.
holy shit, that's terrible. But here's the thing: the biggest surprise for me this week, and in the film and in the soundtrack, Big Boy shows up.
Which is Morris Brown. I
Morris
love
Brown
Morris Brown.
is awesome.
So that leads me to my thing is that I full on love 3 songs on Idlewild, and they're all the Sleepy Brown songs.
Okay.
For me, like Sleepy Brown is the MVP of this album because like when we're in for, I mean, Morris Brown is like
The marching band
Big
when
Boy's
that comes
marching
in.
band,
Big Boy's verses on it are quite good, but the hook is where I'm living. You know.
Right, and then you have Peaches with that one on there. What was the other one that he was on?
He did the one with Monet, right?
Well, there was Call the Law, and then there was In Your Dreams. That was,
In Your
Killer
Dreams.
Mike.
That's
Killer
good.
Mike.
Yo, let's talk about like In Your Dreams for a moment, because like I think Idlewild, we'll all agree that is not the best album, but we're still feeling the effects of things that happened in this album with the reach of Janelle Monáe, and even the fact that like last week she dropped like what might be the best album of this year so far,
Dirty Computer.
Dirty Computer.
Yeah.
I feel like everything that's coming out of her crew is just like untouchable.
Wonderland.
Wonderland, like dude, Jidena's coming out. Like I think Anderson .Paak's affiliated right now. Like they're all like just coming out some good stuff. And Killer Mike has like he's one of the best rappers who's been the most consistent. That hasn't like hit that mainstream status.
Yeah, hasn't missed a step either.
Yeah. Well, it's weird though because like hearing him like everything on the whole world, because he got his debut. I mean, when he was on Stankonia, that was the first song he was ever on,
Right.
and now he's in Run the Jewels, and they're just fucking, like they're like in the same conversation with OutKast as one of the best rap duos of all time, with like that and Eric B and Rakim and what have you. But legitimately though, like I think Killer Mike got better over time. He got way more
absolutely.
articulate because like his verses are fine on the OutKast records, but he definitely like stepped up his game, especially once he hooked up with LP.
It's definitely like he grew up too, right? Like here he's like, yo, big boy, say the word, I'm gonna run up on him, split their head. And now he's like, he stepped away from that a little bit. He still got that in him. but now he's like talking about how like socialism can change a country. Like like he's grown in his scope.
Right.
And I think that's definitely like that 3 Stacks influence, that opening that third eye.
Opening the third eye. Yeah. But the thing is that, like, I don't hear as much of it on here. And Janelle Monáe, she does the flapper thing fucking amazingly. And The Train is just a fantastic
the other
song.
one.
My God. Because there's that. And then when they do The Train Part 2 on the first Big Boy solo album is like one of my all-time favorite tracks from him. But when you think about the other 5 albums within this discography, it's pretty obvious. I wanted to give it another chance. I wanted to see if there was a revelation, and I love the big boy stuff I discovered on here.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, because you know when you're ranking OutKast albums, it's basically picking your favorite child, because it's like in the grand scheme of things, none of these, and while it may seem like we're hard on the album or something like that, we're not saying any of these albums are bad.
Right.
Trash.
Listen to other episodes. We were not just hard on Idlewild.
If we're like thinking about what's going on while they're making Idlewild, right? Like Big Boy's still working on hip hop. His mind is clearly focused on rap and flowing. 3 Stacks, his mind is on making Class of 3000 for Cartoon Network. He's getting the character Dabu down, and he's shooting Semi-Pro with Will Ferrell in 2006. So around this time, his main focus ain't being a rapper or making music no more.
Or being an actor in a movie that he's starring in. Yeah.
Right.
He's like...
He phones that shit in.
Yeah. Also, the weirdest sex scene we've seen in some time in that
Oh my god!
movie.
You know what's great during sex scenes?
What?
Smash cuts of scary clowns. That's super great.
Love
Thanks,
that.
Dre.
Way to set the mood.
Exactly. All right.
Wow.
So, all right. So we're in agreement. Idlewild number 6.
Yeah.
I think we all saw that coming. So that's not no one's heart is broken. But now that that's done, now we can get into a real discussion. Shannon,
This is where it gets hard.
this is where it gets hard. And
This is
guess
where it
what,
gets
buddy?
real hard.
You're another guest here. Zheryk had his turn in the hot seat. Now it's yours. Number 5. What are you gonna nominate for us?
Okay. People, and again, I'm speaking from an honest perspective.
I'm
and
very curious.
as Zheryk said, I'm very hip hop centered. And so when I listen to OutKast, and since that's what I grew up on, that's what I'm expecting. And while I can appreciate the artistry, for me, I'm open to a debate. Number 5 is Speakerboxxx Love Ball.
Oh man,
That's for me.
I get your argument. Like I'm gonna start off by saying, when we were having this, if they were split into 2 albums, The Love Below would fit this slot for me hands down.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And honestly, a large part of why this puts it there is that, okay, you have this album. And now, mind you, if we're talking about in the grand scheme of things, this is a great album.
It won the
overall.
Grammy for
And
Album of the Year.
It won the
How
Grammy
can
for
you
Album of the
diss
Year.
it? Yeah.
But, and now, mind you, this is, if we're talking personal
Bruno
again,
Mars also won Album of the Year, okay?
Yo, but
Okay.
Beck also won Album of the Year, so like
Celine Dion, that's the level we're at right now.
Steely Dan in the 2000s won
Guys,
an Album of the Year.
we've established that Album of the Year does not matter.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
for me personally, while I love Speakerboxxx and a lot of things Big Boy did, a lot of the verses didn't do as much for me, and there wasn't enough
On
Andre
Speakerboxxx.
Yeah, on Speakerboxxx. There wasn't enough Andre 3000 on it for me for the hip hop aspect. And then you switch over to Love Below, while Prototype is arguably one of my favorite songs.
It's a good sex jam.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's
gosh,
a
I love Prototype.
Yeah.
But for me, and again, I'm coming in thinking from a hip hop aspect, because listening to all these OutKast albums, you get all this wonderful, classic, legendary hip hop. And then you get to Speakerboxxx Love Below, and then you get a lot of funk, and you get a lot of soul, and you get a lot of Andre 3000 experiment, and you get a lot of pop. And it's just like, for me, in the grand scheme of their body of work, for OutKast, it didn't rank, like, I didn't enjoy listening to that as much as I enjoy listening to, like, Aquemini, AT Aliens, Southern Players, you know, like, those albums fulfilled a grassroots hip hop urge, a hunger that I wanted, to where this album didn't necessarily give it to me. Now, I was fully prepared for everyone else to disagree with me, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But if we're talking personal preference, gun to my head, being honest, Speakerboxxx Love Below would come after Idlewild for me.
I hear you, and there are major problems with this album for sure,
What?
especially on Love Below.
The drum and bass cover of My Favorite Things.
I mean, First of all, the first time I put this album on and that started happening, I was like, oh, this is gonna turn into something cool, right? Oh no, it's this for 5 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
Also, he just sampled an existing recording of it and added like a rapid hi-hat on it. And I'm like, cool, thanks. But I don't know. I am a big pop fanatic, and I mean, I'm pretty young, so like Stankonia era is when I was really aware of
what OutKast
was, and then, you know, obviously I know the huge hits from Speakerbox. So while I wouldn't put it too much higher, I don't think we're ready for it yet. There's just so many huge show-stopping moments, especially on Speakerbox. When you have when you have that run of Unhappy into Bowtie into The Way You Move into Rooster, like I also am always going to be a sucker for horns, and especially live horns used in a rap setting. That's like exactly what I live for, and so that's like there's a couple.
That's
of my
how I feel about
favorite things
flutes. So I get what you mean. That's how I feel about flutes. So I get.
So
what you
Mask
mean.
Off was like your favorite song.
Oh, when I heard
of all
Mask
time.
Off, I was like, I don't even need to hear another song on this album. It's the best album in the past 100 years.
I mean,
I don't need to hear anything else.
That was I fucking love that beat. Anyway,
yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna contest you a little bit here.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Please do.
Like Speakerbox Love Below, it's definitely a double album, so you approach it differently, right?
Yeah.
I would say that there are more hits and memorable songs coming out of this than there were out of AT Aliens. Now, AT Aliens has a couple of like real standard ones, but I do feel like I would put Speakerbox Love Below above it. Now, mind you, I am deeply filtered by 2003. This album just came out. I am a sophomore in high school, and I love hip hop. I'm one of the few people of color that likes hip hop. So I was in my high school, so I was definitely feeling one way, listening to Speakerbox. But I remember another side of me that was like trying to express myself, who never really felt like I could express myself, was really feeling some of that Love Below. And there was a song specifically, the Take Off Your Cool with Norah Jones. That to me as a middle schooler was the first bridge of like, this is art, or as a high schooler, like this is artistic, but also like real. And I think there's something to be said about that for the journey. Like, while yes, I agree, it is not a hip hop album. While I agree, there is a bunch of love songs and things of that nature.
It doesn't have to be a hip hop album. It could be a good album.
Right, it could be a good album.
Sure. Yeah.
There's a reason it won Best Album overall that year.
Yeah.
And it's because it took so much from other genres and incorporated it. At least the Love Below, I felt like did that a lot more. But I feel as an overall experience, you feel something a little bit more than you would from some of the earlier albums out of OutKast.
absolutely.
And
Finish.
that's kind of like where I'm coming from is I would personally put a little bit higher, just because I think the higher thought, them kind of evolving as people, as that's where you're starting to see. All right, this is not just two people as one unit. These are two individuals.
Right.
And this album is the one where you can make the claim, 3 Stacks is the best rapper of all time, or you get that claim of like
A hard no.
or Big Boy. No, I'm with you, but like when Stankonia came out, no one was making those claims.
All right, absolutely.
Right. Okay, but here's the other thing I would say is that, and a lot of people have made the argument, and I see both sides of it, of the fact that although it's 2 solo albums under the same umbrella, it is 2 solo albums, and part of what makes OutKast is how well they work together. How there is that constant pull of like Dre being like, I'm tired of rapping, I want to do acoustic songs, and then him be like, no, we need to pull this into an actual song, which is how some of their genuine hits have come about, like because they became producers, they became, people like that. This is them working separately, but in kind of their own different things. And so seeing their personalities kind of out there removed, even though they work on both albums, is interesting. The thing is that like the one thing about ATL, actually the first 4 albums, let's just be real, is that there's this personal aspect to it. There's the stories of like how hard it is in the streets. There's also one thing that kind of struck me like literally today, that it just, as soon as I heard it, everything clicked into place of how much respect they have for women. Which is not something you really ever really
Back then?
think about.
That's real though.
Back then?
Yes.
Respect for women? What? Like, that wasn't a thing in hip hop. Like, that was. It was pretty brutal.
A thing in hip hop.
It was,
I mean, Tina's still not really.
it still isn't there. Let's be very clear.
Right.
But back then, it was like blatantly not there.
Yeah.
Like.
But like when you have a song like Toilet Tisha off of Stankonia, which is, and there's actually more than a few songs that deal with like rough girls that, sell their bodies and commit suicide.
No, but on the same side, like I'll Call Before I Come is on that one. Or Humble as a Mumble. Like those are two like very much I'm gonna respect you. We'll talk about Stankonia later in this
honestly, we love these hoes kind of comes off as like kind of respectful in its own weird way. But the thing is that like that personal aspect of it, that little autobiographical aspect of it, is a little bit removed on here. There's nothing wrong with that, but then you have a Big Boy album that's nothing but braggadocio, and then you basically have an Andre album that, save for the last song, is pretty much all just I like genres.
You don't think Love Below is you don't hear
Thank you, Evan.
You don't hear anything personal on Love Below?
Okay, walk me through the personal parts of Love Below.
Okay. Well, certainly not. Oh my gosh.
Where Are My Panties interlude?
Well,
that's a great interlude.
I love Where Are My Panties interlude. First of all, if we're talking about respect for women, that's literally there's a whole Andre monologue on there about how much she's like. I don't think
that one
you're
interlude. It's like, hey God, oh damn, you a girl.
Okay, so no, I like the Love Below. I guess it's not that personal, but like when you're getting into like Prototype or like I fucking love She Lives in My Lap.
Oh yeah.
When he's like
it's weird and I like it.
He fully
That's
hits that
thing.
like Prince pose.
Yeah.
You know?
Which he tries other times. It doesn't hit the same level, but on that one, absolutely. Also, Pink and Blue I kind of like, honestly.
And I'll hold down that Behold a Lady is a jam as well.
Personally, Behold a Lady, that's like a full Stevie Wonder.
Yeah. I feel like it's, again, me in high school, at that time I realized that was a moment where I realized, all right, I'm just going after girls that are gonna give me what I think I want, and this is something I don't know how to handle. I'm learning about myself, and that's when I kind of realized, like, Behold the Lady, that's gonna be something. I don't know. Again, maybe it's just because I personally grew up a lot to the Love Below and Speaker box albums that I have a special place in my heart.
But man, then you have She's Alive.
Okay.
Then you have Happy Valentine's Day.
See, Happy Valentine's Day could have been their like Beatles birthday moment, except he made it 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
It just kind of keeps going and going and going.
And that's another thing too with the Love Below portion. That was a long, even for then. That's a long, because mind you, Big Boy's part is only like 58 minutes or something like that, your typical hip-hop album. Then you get to the Love Below, and it's long.
Right.
And it feels like...
It's indulgent.
Right, and it's like, it doesn't feel like it needs to be that long, especially with that song for 5 minutes. It's like...
Right. You could, I mean, but that's also like, something like that kind of goes through their discography, because even like on Southern Playlist and Cadillac Music, like... I've heard this chorus about 5 times now. I think I'm good on the chorus.
Well, especially a couple of the songs on Playlistic, it'll be like a 30 to 40 second verse, and then the chorus again, and then another one, and then the chorus again, and then another, and it's like the song is 6 minutes long, and you're like, okay, we get it. Yeah. We get the chorus. You don't have to roll it after every single verse.
And I will say this, the argument for 5th place for me was between Southern Playlistic and Speakerbox and Love Below. So those were the 2 albums for me. Now, and while I understand the cultural impact of Southern Playlistic, they've just put out better albums that did what that album did, just way better in advance.
So that Southern Playlistic is where I would lean, absolutely. Not because it's not great, and I fully hear and respect and appreciate the steps that Organized Noise took with all the live instrumentation, but the roots of this album are still in West Coast hip hop to me. Like,
those deep, heavy bass lines.
You know, they're playing them live, but the layers that are there, the blueprint for this album is still like Dr. Dre.
Right.
So, and they're so young still. I feel like they haven't found their individual flows yet. They sound like early 90s rappers.
Yeah.
And what?
Yeah,
and I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. And again, there's nothing wrong with that because I mean, this is their first coming out party and things such as that. And you can tell they, you know, even though they're a Southern-based group, they draw their influence from all of hip hop, and they're, you know, bringing their own twist to it. You know, they definitely, you can even hear, like you said, in their flows, you definitely hear a lot of early, you know, West Coast specifically, hip hop cadences and things such as
fucking
that.
17 at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like it only makes sense because you're that young, you're drawing from your influences around you, and so.
And don't get me wrong, I still think there's some really great verses on here. Like Deep is no,
Dude,
not Deep.
Yo, let me get you I was 6 years old when this album came out. But I will always remember Hootie Hoo! The first time I heard that like song, and I will never forget the Players Ball. Like how I feel like it deserves a higher spot off the Players Ball alone.
Oh wow.
And I would even argue that reprise at the end is the best use of a reprise in a rap album that I can recall.
Okay.
I'm not gonna fight you on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like that song. It's just not like the highlight for me.
But before we dig into the heaviness of it, I just want to clarify one thing. We were talking about Speakerboxx Love Below. You said you wouldn't put it this low. What would you have put at number 5?
See, that's a tough one, because this is Southern Playalistic was the one I would put it.
You would okay. I just wanted to make sure.
But I was just like, you know, just the sheer number of hits that came off of that record. Just the sheer number of your auntie that don't listen to hip hop was gonna know tracks off of this one.
Are you talking about Speakerboxx?
Speakerboxx, right below. You know, everybody's still talking about For Their Beyonces and Lucy Lou's. Like, when it comes to like sheer iconicness, there's only one that I really think goes above Speakerboxx Love Below, and that's the one we'll talk about probably at the end, because that's my personal number 1.
Okay, we'll talk about that when we get there. All right, but you're at the idea that Speakerboxx Love Below and Southern Playalistic are in the same battle right now.
Two different things though, right? Because Southern Playalistic is like the iconicness of hip hop and what would come from that album.
Right.
While Speakerboxx Love Below is pop culture impact and what it meant outside of hip hop.
Right. Well, Southern Playalistic, and that's the biggest thing too, is that again, these young kids fucking coming out of fucking ATL, no one knowing what, and again, East Coast, West Coast at the peak, being booed at the fucking Source Awards. That was the thing. And the thing is that, like, I think a lot of people, maybe they didn't understand what they were going for. Like, they come from a place of deep respect as well. But I feel like Southern Playalistic is an enjoyable album, but I would argue that its influence is more the fact that an ATL group, a group from not the East or West Coast, was able to put out a really good album, than it is like, this is their secret masterpiece. Like, I don't think anyone's saying that.
And I'm going to have a little bit of an argument with you there, because there was good hip-hop coming out of the South before OutKast was out. Being born in Houston, the Ghetto Boys was like definitely like Bushwick Bill, and like, you know, UGK was making moves at that point in time, and like, you know, a lot of stuff that you guys are saying are West Coast sounds, y'all, were like very deep origins of Southern hip-hop, like even that opening bass line for Hootie Hoo, like, just something about that just felt like childhood, like, and again, maybe I have a weird bias because this is something I remember hearing these tracks before. My favorite rapper is like, you know, like, this is just like when I knew hip hop, and like, this wasn't reggae or soul music to me, like.
Well, you know me, ain't no thing but a chicken wing, so, you know, there's no rough on that. So, I mean, so you have a much more, would you say you have a higher opinion of Southern Playalistic over Speakerboxx? I mean, I know you're talking about the iconicness of these albums, but I'm not even thinking about that. I'm more thinking about, what is the best album? What is the one that I'm personally going to keep coming back to? I love a lot of the grooves on Southern Playalistic. I feel like a lot of them get a little bit better on AT-Aliens.
No, you're definitely right. They definitely like learn their craft as they move on. But I would say, like, of the two, I have not listened to before this week. I have not listened to a Love Below all the way through. Since high school.
Really?
I've listened to Speakerboxx all the way through.
Oh my God, Dracula's Wedding. Let me tell you, it's a song. Okay.
I have listened to Southern Playalistic kind of like music. I've listened to AT-Aliens. I've listened to Stankonia. I've listened to all of them top to bottom. You know, within at least the last 3 years.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? I can't say that about A Love Below, which is, like I said, why it brings it down. I can say I've never listened to Idlewild all the way through before today, like, before this week.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm just going to put this out there, you know, and people are not going to like it. But for Speakerboxx and Love Below, while they do have a lot of hits and things like that, if it's a 2-hour and 15-minute album, you're going to find hits on it from OutKast.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I'm just put it out there.
Sure.
50% of this album is phenomenal.
Yes.
Shout out to Big Boy. Other 50% for me, So it's like 75% of this album is good.
Right.
I feel like Southern Playalistic, Cadillac Music, is more than 75% good.
Okay.
So if we're talking based off of percentages here.
And that's as we're going to. I will say, here's one, and this is completely out of nothing. I feel like guest verses on OutKast albums, for the most part, aren't that great. I don't remember a lot of other rappers on here, and this is not going to really weigh heavily on the album, with the exception of Ludacris's verse off of fucking Tomb of the Boom.
Yeah.
On fucking, because that one, when he's talking about, you're still in your cubicles, while I got weed crumbs that are stuck in my cuticles, I'm like, holy shit, Luda, really? Damn. Like, I don't love that song at all, and he is the best part of it.
I will say, I don't think that CeeLo is a great rapper, but I really enjoy his verse on Reset.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, and CeeLo's had some, commendable verses as well, but I mean, he's definitely an artist. Like, he ascends, just rap in itself, but he puts in his work when the time calls for it.
Yeah, like his stuff with Goody Mob back on Southern Playalistic.
Oh my God, with Goody Mob.
When he shined in Goody Mob. That was that group.
Right, yeah.
The solo stuff, he's known as a singer, but like...
I still remember when they were in the movie Mystery Men, when they were part of the evil thing. They were the not-so-goody mob.
we watched that last year, and I was like, is that fucking CeeLo?
There's so much stuff in that movie that you're like...
I watched that movie so much when I was little, and so seeing it again, I was like, "Oh my God, that's actually that is actually fucking Goody Mob."
Goody Mob that's a Goody Mob.
All right, well, listen, we're 37 minutes into the podcast right now.
Really? See, that's what I always forget about this podcast.
Yeah.
Any future guests out there, time will fly. You won't even know it.
So let's just go around. Let's say, and because of the two albums, what would your number 5 pick be? Let's just say what we think it's going to be, starting with Shannon. Between the two albums.
Speaker Box Love Below.
Southern Playalistic.
You guys got me on the Speaker Box Love Below argument. I see y'all side.
Uh-oh. We're dead.
I'm so torn. I really, really am.
It's rough.
I know, because, I'm going to say Speaker Box Love Below.
He's number 5?
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
I know. Because one of the things where, I love the Big Boy on there. It's still a very presentational Big Boy. It's not, that same level of authentic. And that's the one thing about Love Below, is that, the day in the life of Andre Benjamin at the very end, when he's talking about, very personal shit, when he's referencing the Erykah Badu thing explicitly by name.
That's what you wanted the whole album.
Right. It's just one of the things, I'm not necessarily saying you have to make a rap album, dude. You can be crazy and indulgent, but you have to bring me along for the ride of the craziness. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you don't. I don't even remember what Love and War sounds like. I don't even fucking remember that.
Sucks.
Right, exactly. Legit. And then you got Big Boy doing Church. You got Flip Flop Rock. You have great things on there, but I don't remember Last Call. And then I still remember the thick grooves on it. And I know a lot of people don't like fucking. I think it's got to be Southern Playalistic by a hair. By a hair, that's where my vote's going to be.
You're voting Southern Playalistic?
Yep, number 4. So I'm putting at number 5, Speaker Box Love Below. I'm putting at number 4, Southern Playalistic, Cadillac Music.
No, I thought about your argument, and I was like, yo, even through all of this, I have more stuff on my playlists from Southern Playalistic.
Then you went for Speaker Box Love.
Because Crumbling Herb.
Crumbling Herb! Yeah, that's such a good one. All right. So in that case, number 6, Idlewild. Number 5, Speakerbox Love Below. Number 4, Southern Playalistic, Cadillac Music. I like it because I don't have to say that for the rest of the podcast now. So Taran, we are down to AT-Aliens. We are down to Aquemini. We are down.
This is where it gets hard.
Oh my God.
This is where it's the smallest of margins.
I'm glad that he's asking me then, because it's really easy.
Okay. All right.
This is exactly where I would have put this, but for me, it's AT-Aliens. I think that verse-wise, this might be their strongest album. Consistently, as far as the rapping is concerned, I fucking love. I might just put on this whole record, and I didn't know it very well before this week, but the beats just aren't to the same level.
Okay.
They haven't explored because Aquemini and Stankonia are so incredibly experimental and out there, and
musically more developed.
And they take from everywhere in music history. And AT-Aliens just isn't quite there yet.
Yo, AT-Aliens, I'm gonna disagree. AT-Aliens.
He was ready.
ATLiens to me is what defined what became the sound of the Southern style.
Okay.
While you argue that this may be their strongest verse-wise, I argue that this is their strongest hook and chorus-wise.
Really?
I feel like me and you, yo mama and your cousin too, to like we just two dope boys in a Cadillac. Like there's just so many things that take that like take a small phrase and say it with such swag, such gusto and repetitiveness that it becomes the hook. I think there's more than those two songs that I said on here, and I feel like if you listen to it through, like you'll have a lot more songs on here that'll be stuck in your head. Than you will off of the later albums.
But yeah, the other thing though is that I feel like I didn't even think about it before Taran said it. I kind of agree. For me, we disagree about Millennium with the chorus of I'm like, come the fuck up. I like some of the things I like the song and then that shit comes in. But for me, the biggest revelation I had this week was actually Babylon. When you have Dre talking about being born with coke in his blood.
Yeah.
When you talk about I'm just like shit. He doesn't always get real in that same sense. He's always honest. He's always open. But that is that got me this week.
I mean, I feel between ATLiens and Aquemini, that's when you have this beautiful mix of both of them. I feel like they both kind of I don't want to say throw away their hood a little bit, but they're not talking about people running in on your wife and daughter. They're not talking about that in Stankonia anymore.
Well, they're creating characters on this one too. They're we want to be that's why the cover is a comic book. We want to be a little bit futuristic. We want to be kind of out there. That was very much a pose they were striking.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just would also say, just sort of on the aspect of why I think the verses here are so good is playing off what you said. It really feels like a duo, a cohesive unit. Mm-hmm. They're trading off lines with each other within the same verses like you hear Run the Jewels do now, which doesn't really happen that much in their discography. Most of the time it's an Andre verse, chorus, a Big Boy verse, chorus. And here we're getting really them intermingling.
Playing off of each other, yeah.
Which is why it's the number 3 spot, right. Absolutely. But I don't know, for me, Elevators doesn't do it for me. I get that it has a nostalgic aspect to it, and also it was a huge hit. So I'm probably just wrong. But for me, I mean, there are also just some great fucking beats on here too, like Wheels of Steel. I don't really like. I don't love the hook on that
I'm not
song,
a big fan of the hook either, but I love the production.
Everything that's happening in the background. And of course the verses on there are just so fucking solid. My big takeaway from this album is Jazzy Bell.
Okay.
Which I think, was it Mr. DJ?
Yeah, Mr. DJ.
The scratching that he's pulling on there, that's some of the best I've heard of that, where I'm actually I want this scratch break to keep going.
And it's weird though, because I think I put this question out on my Twitter earlier in the week of just who's better, Big Boy or Dre. A lot of people are just a surprising amount of people were straight up Big Boy. A lot of people just said it's about the two of them together, and I love Big Boy a lot. You got to keep it's weird. I feel like Dre, he has these real high highs that are memorable and these terrible lows, and Big Boy doesn't have it. He's just consistent throughout. But the thing is that I remember Dre's verses on ATLiens so much, especially when I'm thinking about Over the Woods, when he has that one part where he's talking about I just want to have a house for my kids with a dog in the backyard, go woof woof. I don't know what's gonna happen outside of the recording booth. Poof. He's just doing this amazing alliteration. All the way straight through.
And that's the kind of where you get the first taste too of Andre 3000's done rapping. He's just gonna tell you thoughts over this music.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's still in verse.
Sure, it's on beat, but it's just I think this is where you first get your first taste of I don't want to be a rapper, Andre.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not just rapping. There's spoken word elements.
He wants to be a preacher. I feel
he's breaking out of
a preacher of love.
The constraints of
psychedelic love.
Yeah.
Of the bars, you know?
Well, before I turn to Shannon's thoughts, because I do want Shannon's thoughts in a second, I just want to throw something hot in the mix real quick, in the gumbo. You defiantly say ATLiens is not a number 3 for you. What would you put at number 3?
Nah, I'd probably put ATLiens.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
I thought you were fighting us.
Yeah.
Because this is. And let's be very clear.
He was just disagreeing on what I said about it.
Okay, got it. Okay, Shannon.
And again, it's rough.
Yeah.
I can literally see,
any one of these going number 1.
Well, there's only one that is a definite number 1 for me in my mind.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it yet.
I'm with you.
But there's a
For me,
definite
too.
number.
Yeah.
There's a definite number one for me in my mind. But AT Aliens, like it could fit, and that's the thing. This is what's so hard about OutKast, because the remaining albums are all pretty phenomenal and good.
Oh, for sure.
Like crazy. And the thing, especially when the question, who's the better rapper between Big Boi and Andre 3 Stacks?
That's such a tough one.
Now,
Well, Happy Hour Minisode after this.
right.
Yeah.
So, but for me, Big Boi shined a lot in AT Aliens.
Yes.
Like, as far as, you always know if it's Big Boi's coming, you're getting a solid verse. Whenever I hear a Big Boi verse, I never have to wonder if it's gonna be good or not. Or if like, when I listen to a Lil Wayne verse, I'm like, are we getting high Wayne? Or if I listen to a lot of rappers, which verse are we
Rockstar Wayne?
Right, are we getting the guitar playing Right. So, but historically speaking, especially this being their second, this was their second album. This being their second album for Big Boi to maintain, that energy from the first one, and just show us consistency. Like, wow, Big Boi is pretty dope. Mm-hmm. But I know Andre 3000, he kind of, because he's so experimental at times, he kind of gets a little bit of the shine. But for me, when I'm listening to lyrics, Big Boi is the outstanding part for me for this album.
Okay.
I can see it at 3.
Okay.
100% I can see it.
Would you put something else at 3 in your personal ranking?
No.
Great, let's lock it in.
Okay.
I wouldn't. Honestly, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I would only put some. It would change up a little bit if we split up the two albums, but because we've agreed not to, I'll put it at number 3.
And that's the thing.
I'll put it at number 3.
I agree with him 1,000% on that regard. But if we're talking about for OutKast, this would be the number 3 OutKast album for me.
Okay, good. Well, in that case, we were in agreement. We've locked it in. Idlewild, Speakerbox, Love Below, Southern Playlist of Cadillac Music, AT Alien 6543. Number 2, we're down to Aquemini and Stankonia. And guys, listen, you've all had turns.
Okay.
I'm going to nominate my number 2. These are 2 amazing albums, we can say it. And I don't know if this is a controversy or not. I'm just going to say it right now. My pick for number 2 has got to be Stankonia.
What?
Whoa! Dog.
Yes.
Crazy.
Because Aquemini legitimately is so fun. Here's the thing. Stankonia is that futuristic, crazy, insane, genre-breaking OutKast that we love. But I would argue Aquemini is their best iteration of who they are. Because that was my biggest thing this week when I was actually listening to Stankonia. It was just like, man, as much as this is a great album, as much as I love the breaks, as much as I love so many of the singles off of this here, the more time I spent with it, it breaks so many genres. And then there are parts that I just kind of like, they don't strike me in the same way. It's kind of like Dre's verses. The high highs, you remember. They are iconic. They are decade-defining singles. I would argue potentially B.O.B. being one of the greatest songs, not of this album, not even of their discography, one of the greatest rap songs potentially ever made. B.O.B. is astonishing.
Yeah.
It is incredible.
Especially if you also like electronic music, then B.O.B. is just like literally everything you want out of life. You've got that gospel chorus ending, you have Andre's verse at the top, which is its own animal, and then they bring in entirely new beat elements for Big Boi's verse after the first chorus. It's just insanity.
I know, and it is so good. And you kind of have other moments aside from the singles. Like, I Call Before I Come is this goofy, wacky, fun little number.
I low-key hate that song.
Really?
I really I don't like the hook at all. I
that's
really
the best part.
want it to just stop.
Man, that's the theme song of every thirsty young dude that ever
Yep.
dealt with it, man. I'm gonna respectfully disagree with you.
That is fine, yes.
I'm gonna put Stankonia as number 1.
Okay.
As I stand that Stankonia, from intro to the last track, puts you on a journey.
It does.
Aquemini, while a great album, it doesn't take you on a full journey. When you're at the end with Chonky Fire, you're just kind of like, oh, okay, they clearly petered out at the end here.
Really?
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Oh.
I fucking love Chonky Fire. You're telling me that's a petered out?
It's weird how Chonky Fire kind of bridges the gap between that and Gasoline Dreams and
it does.
really, really well.
But
yeah.
I don't know, man.
All right.
From Rosa, Return of the Gangs, like Art of Storytelling Part 1 alone, my dude.
Yeah,
Like-
see, that's where, that for me, that's the art. The Art of Storytelling Part 1 is just like, man, damn, like, was I so sure about another one? Because that song alone,
But I heard Mamacita and I was for sure. like, this
the
is-
love I have for the Art of Storytelling Part 1 and their delivery.
yeah.
Honestly, for me,
I'll get
Aquemini,
back to that.
that fucking bass line, that fucking hypnotic, chorus
That's-
is just next
Aquemini
level.
like comes on and I'm like, I need to spark up.
Yeah.
Like it's
so groovy and just so musically pleasing, Aquemini.
Mm-hmm.
But Stankonia got like,
okay.
Man.
Stankonia's got question mark on it,
Stankonia
though. That's
still-
all I'm saying.
I actually really like question mark. It's
Okay.
insane, but I'm into it. Stankonia though, for me, like you're talking about how it takes you on a journey. Are we sure Stank Love is a journey we want to go on?
Yo,
Like to me, if we're talking about petering out at the end, we end that album with Slum Beautiful, Prenup, and Stank Love, and I'm not about any of it.
Yo, Stank Love is the jam. I
yeah, Stank.
don't know where you coming from.
I'm laughing
Like-
because I like Stank Love. So
Stank
it's
Love
like,
is- I'm telling you, Stank Love got me ready for adulthood way more than I thought it would. Like,
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, maybe it's that filter of Stankonia was the first, like, was the third album I ever bought, the first rap album I ever bought with my own money. I remember me and my sister both bought this CD, so like we would bond over this. Like, I actually like thought she took my version the first time I heard she had it, so I stole her copy that she purchased because I thought it was mine from her.
That's awesome.
We got everything cleared up.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, that was just like, to me, that was real. Like, I remember in 2000, that's kind of like the Y2K stuff. Rap rock was kind of a big deal.
With the Papa John or the Papa Roach. Sorry.
yeah, Papa John.
Papa Jones was going on.
Papa John was
Papa
lit.
bro.
Yeah, but like
John's-
in Linkin Park, you got all that fucking shit.
So
yeah.
there was like, you know, when you heard the Gasoline Dreams, when you heard Bombs Over Baghdad, when they actually had like that like like guitar drummer, like I remember the guitar solos in like Bombs Over Baghdad. I remember I was very into other genres of music. I was learning about who I was in different styles, and this to me is the dream. This Stankonia to me is peak OutKast. Because it's got that old school groove. It's got that place where it takes you to soul. It takes you to the fucking mother planet that Andre 3000 comes from. But it also takes you to Bankhead and Buckhead. It takes you right to Atlanta. But it also takes you to this like future off place. I think Stankonia is past, present, and future the best representation of all aspects: player, poet, philosopher, prophet, like all of it, everything that they've ever been about.
Okay.
I think it's all. You can find it in Stankonia. I don't think you can find all of it in Aquemini.
Okay, so these albums are neck and neck for me.
Bear in mind,
for
these
sure.
are number one and number two.
But
We're
the thing
debating.
is, the thing is, for me,
Even number 3, all of this is super close.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, for me, as amazing as Stankonia is, and I'm not gonna disagree with anything that you've said about it, Aquemini has 3 of my 5 favorite OutKast songs, with Rosa Parks, which I think we can all agree is just like
When that fucking
not just-
harmonica breakdown happens, I never heard. That was the first OutKast song I ever heard. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
I didn't even know I liked harmonicas until that. It's like, what?
Yeah.
See, like, I guess to me, when I heard that song, it first took me to Arrested Development's Tennessee
Yeah,
song.
exactly.
So
yeah.
to me, at this point in time, when I first heard Rosa Parks,
You thought ripoff?
I didn't think ripoff, but I felt I've heard this before.
Right, you didn't think it was like something new and innovative. You was like, oh,
Yeah.
I've heard this kind of sound before.
I remember Arrested Development. My
Right.
folks were very
Tennessee.
Afrocentric. My dad's Indian. He was Rasta, and growing up, whenever it was hip hop, it was very Afrocentric that I would listen to.
Yeah.
So I was into all of that kind of stuff.
For me though, honestly, the thing that makes that song, as much as I love that, is that fucking Doppler radar beat. That boom.
Yeah.
You know, like that's happening there in the background. Like, I love that shit. That's amazing, and that's unlike anything I'd really heard before. But like, you have that. You also have Return of the G opening the album.
Return of the Gangsta, like
Yeah.
Yeah,
who
but
was it? Like that's when I realized like hip hop didn't have to be a certain way. Like I definitely understand that's where I think if an ATLians, Andre and Big Boy kind of figured out who they were and in respect to the group, I feel like ATL, Aquemini is where they ran with it.
Right.
Where Andre's like, okay, I'm this paragon of free thought. I'm the weird motherfucker. I can get the crowd behind me just on not being normal.
Right.
While Big Boy, like you said, is the steady. You know, no matter how out there, no matter how out of this, like, you know, high in the sky, 3 stacks got you. Andre, bring it right back to earth. Like, Big Boy. I keep missing my word.
But let's be fair. Let's be fair. The three of us have been talking about this quite a bit. Shannon.
I'm just sitting here pondering, like, man, like, the thing is...
I mean, you seem shocked when I said Stankonia.
I am shocked, but, again, which is why I love dialogue and debate, is because when people explain things to you and you think about it a little bit more, you're just like, I get it, 100%. So, it's rough, and I'm probably going to talk out how I feel
Please
through
do.
this.
That's what we're here for.
And I agree with him 1,000%. Stankonia, in my mind, is peak performance OutKast.
Okay.
It's to the point where experimental Andre 3000 worked in its aspects in this album and it fit well. It wasn't like there were misses a lot for me on Stankonia with Andre stepping out the box and Big Boy complimenting him with just a consistent verses. Man, but Aquemini, and again, I always approach it from a pure hip hop. Because again, you know, I remember, especially when Stankonia came out, when Linkin Park was big, I was a huge fan of Linkin Park, you know, being a black
That's
boy.
what I know you for.
You know, being a black boy from Chicago, you know, listening to like rock fusion, rap fusion.
With Jay-Z.
I'm just like, whoa, and they did the album with Jay-Z and things like that, which was like cool. But Aquemini it fulfilled so much. And then the art of storytelling. That song alone for me is just like so important. And I love Rosa Parks as well. And then one of the strongest starts to an album in Aquemini as well, like with Return of the G. But
Scoot on the Barbie.
Yeah.
Wait, you guys don't like Scoot on the Barbie?
I mean, that's definitely not one of the standouts.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I'm not like jumping out.
Track, like
I love that song.
I'm more quick to jump on synthesizer than I am on that track.
Okay, well,
Okay,
I
yeah.
mean, I'm into synthesizer.
But then when I think
Y'all
of
scared, like
when I
Spotty
think
up
of
a Doppelicious.
Stankonia,
Yeah.
Oh
Okay, you might be switching me over to it.
Delicious. Yes. Wait, because that is a 7-minute song where I want every single second of it because that horn break on its own one time through is like 30 seconds.
But again, that song is Andre 3000 refusing to rap.
It's
over
true.
a beat.
Yeah.
And but for me, it's because that horn hook is so like sprawling and it's taking its time that like while I don't love the Andre verses, I don't have any problems with them because everything else that's happening in that
track
song is just so.
You know what was crazy? Apparently, when it came to sequencing and tracking the album, like, everyone was just like, well, we gotta open with Return of the G. But Dre was like, you know what, we gotta open with Y'all Scared. Like, that was, like, his big thing. Like, we want to open with that cut. And everyone's just like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Because, like, that's you and a bunch of guest rappers there. We want to open with...
That was Big Boy wanted to
Oh, really?
open.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was I thought it was Dre. I could be
Well,
wrong.
whatever.
Yeah.
Y'all scared is like, that's
It's a posse cut.
Yeah.
that's definitely like the whole.
But, like, why open the album with that? Like,
Yeah,
Return
you
of
want
the
to-
G is such a strong opener by
Yeah,
itself.
usually your posse cuts, if we're talking about sequencing, kind of comes towards the later end of the album. But for me, with Stankonia, you got to think. You have So
Savannah,
Fresh and So
though.
Clean.
Okay.
You have Miss Jackson. You have Bombs Over Baghdad.
No, even
Damn.
like even if you go like not the singles,
Like even if you don't go the same
explosion,
explosion.
like
I'm sorry, I can't move. Like Stankonia for me,
and I can't.
and I love. And the thing is, this literally by like
I mean,
a song or two.
Seriously.
that sways my opinion. But it's like it keeps bouncing back and forth as we talk about it because whenever we revisit specific songs, it's like, oh my god.
Okay.
Because I also forgot all about Humble Mumble.
No, yo, look.
It's like when the beat.
Someone said something earlier about I don't remember guest appearances, and then y'all mentioned a Ludacris verse.
Yeah.
Humble Mumble, Erykah Badu.
Badu.
There's
Erykah Badu.
nothing. There's not a feature on any of these songs that is like more memorable that has a feature than than the real fucking chemistry between Erykah Badu and Andre 3000 in 1999 when they're recording this shit. They out in the booth making 7 right now. They in here making this song. And there's, I don't know, humbleism, like, cause like it feels like even working with Badu, like Erykah, you can hear like Andre's verse when he comes in and raps again on that one. You can tell he's trying again. Like again, like to me, I feel like in this album, you hear him go as experimental as he will. You hear him lose his will to rap. After this, he doesn't ever come back as a full-time rapper.
Okay. And Zheryk, here's the only thing I'm gonna say. I feel like you said he doesn't want to be a rapper on like almost every one of these albums that we talked about.
Well, you watch him lose his interest. You watch
as
him
over time. Yeah.
And I blame Erykah Badu for that. I blame Erykah Badu,
which is absolutely fair.
Because I mean, she's done this to every top tier MC she's ever been in a relationship with.
Jay Electronica,
Electronica, where? Like, he's already done. Jay Electronica's already done. Like, so.
Well, Jay Electronica was done for a different reason a long time ago.
Yeah, well, after he couldn't beat Kendrick, he did beat Kendrick technically on the fucking Control verse, but no one cared.
Kendrick beat him on his own track.
Yeah.
You lose on your own track, you don't get to talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we're in a clear. That's amazing. Right, so I think there's a good divide here between these two albums. I would say before we go over anything, I think we can all agree because I'm still kind of a Aquemini, but you guys have made good arguments. I feel like we could all maybe change things a little bit. Here's what we're gonna do. I think we all know Shannon, Zheryk, you're kind of team Stankonia. I think Taran and I might be team Aquemini a little bit, but where we're gonna go around the room, we're gonna say one good thing about the other album and one detriment against the album that we like. Okay. I think that's fair to say.
Okay.
And I will say, Stankonia, my thing that I like about it is the fact that they get weirder than they ever have, and yet kept it within the realm because so fresh, so clean. That's a weird thing to brag about, and yet it's awesome at the same time. I love
not that weird.
It's not. But for hip hop, absolutely. It's just out there, and I dig that about that.
Okay, in the 2000s, this is when the South is starting to get dirty. This is when you have the Master P, you got your Hot Boys coming in. The South is very dirty.
Degrees.
And so these motherfuckers are coming out talking about, I'm fresh and so clean in the age of the dirty South and the rise of the dirty South.
And actually, this is also during the time where gritty hip-hop was kind of at its forefront, because this is when Eminem just came out. DMX is the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's right behind him. Ja Rule just hit, and this is before Ja Rule got more pop singy and things such as that. So they have all these East Coast juggernauts, and then you have OutKast. I'm fresh. It wasn't the popular thing back then to be cool and slick and that Southern vibe. Yeah. But then they come in with it, and it's just it captured everybody's mind. It's this song is so cool.
Yeah.
And my thing I would say is a negative against Aquemini is that I think it's basically a flawless album, but Liberation and Chunky Fire near the end don't do as much for me in the same way.
Fuck it. I love Liberation.
That's just me. That's just me.
Well, Nathaniel's a minute long.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So now your turn, Zheryk.
Alright, so the best thing I can say about Aquemini is the art of storytelling part 1. Overall, Aquemini is a great album. It's got a great vibe, and it does set the precursor to a lot of what eventually becomes Atlanta hip-hop.
It almost closes the chapter on the first 3 albums. It's kind of like that, before they went into space.
No, for sure.
They were already in space.
I mean, I know, but Stankonia really shot them, into a dimension.
One thing I'll say that I could definitely get as a criticism on Stankonia is it does kind of lose energy at certain points.
Right, because it's a long album. It's 24 tracks.
Yeah, it's 24 tracks, but notice before this, none of the interludes or skits had any kind of track listing. So it's a 24 track, but get 9 of them or
interlude, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right.
And also, if we're talking about interludes, I love the fact in sketch comedy that's called a runner. But they had a runner. Every sketch ended with a ready break. And if you listen to them, they all told that story. I'm always a sucker for if you ever want to do one that's just skits and hip hop albums, I would love to rank those. The Fugees, I think, is the most slept on those. But I don't know. I like the overall story, but I can definitely see where if you weren't in a love song or a romantic aspect as compared to just the sexual aspect of a relationship. And I think, like I said, I think Stankonia does a good job of holding all of that. But if that's not what you're looking for, I can definitely see why that would be a complaint. I could definitely see how That's a time capsule of the year 2000, which is very different than being a time capsule of the 90s or the 2000s. This is very specifically Y2K, like that era of style. So I can definitely see why like that would be a drawback. But I think in like if you're gonna pinpoint the importance of music as a whole, Stankonia wins. And I think if you pinpoint the importance of hip hop as a whole, Stankonia also wins.
Right. Taran?
Damn.
Yeah, follow that up. Bitch, get off the blow!
I mean,
Great.
I will say that Stankonia is the only album that actually made me laugh out loud multiple times.
Kim and
with
Cookie.
with fucking Kim and Cookie with all of all of those like backing vocals. I was like, this is so unnecessary, but it's perfect. And then just bitch, get off that blow, break. And it has. I mean, it just I mean, it's true on both of these albums for me, but there's barely any weak moments. It really, it just keeps going consistently, especially that A side. Weak on Aquemini, I don't know.
Art of Storytelling Part 2?
Well, no, I'm into that. No, Weak on Aquemini is fucking Mamacita.
That's
Papadana!
Yeah.
Mamacita!
I love a Gangsta Boo appearance.
Yeah.
But that was not her finest moment.
No, not at all.
Yeah, all right.
It was nice to know she was there, though.
Yeah, I'm glad she got paid. All right. Shannon.
For me, Stankonia, it's hard for me to even pick a bad thing about it, if I'm being honest. If I had to be a judge of anything, I'm not a big fan of a lot of interludes. It's just...
When you get excessive.
Yeah, and there was a lot of interludes, as you pointed out, on this thing. But that's not like the interludes were bad at all. Like, it's not like they didn't tie in and fit perfectly with the theme of the album.
It's like a reset button sometimes.
Right.
You know?
And so it kind of like stops a little bit of halts my like energy with while I'm listening to it.
For sure.
It's like, I gotta listen to it.
Like, as an album consistently listening experience, it kind of detracts. Yeah.
But otherwise, Stankonia is just phenomenal for me. And while I completely do love, Aquemini as well, I mean, the art of storytelling is like, that's like hip hop diamond right there. That's like Jesus, that song. But we got Killer Mike on Stankonia. You didn't get that on Aquemini. And I mean,
okay, but his work on Stankonia,
I liked it.
Doesn't blow me away.
Yeah.
It's not the Killer Mike that I know.
Yeah.
Right, and
He sounds like a rapper.
Yeah.
Which is what he was at that point.
Which is what he was. He was just a rapper. You're like, man, this Killer Mike doing this thing. And I think the thing that with Stankonia is that coming out of the 90s, they started off 2000 already trying to be ahead of the curve, trend setting, like making their stamp. Stankonia.
Apparently, they didn't listen to rap music when they're recording it. They listened to anything that wasn't
right, and it sounds like it. It sounds like it because while you might hear some influences from other coasts and things like that in previous albums, and even from the rapping aspect, some of it in Aquemini, when you get to Stankonia, it sounds so OutKast. It's just like, I think at this point with Stankonia, people were like, historically, if you ask people what was the best group of all time, they would default to a Tribe Called Quest before that point.
Right.
Because a Tribe Called Quest was iconic. But with Stankonia, people was like, yo, OutKast. Like, it was like, because, all the tracks on here that was so hard. And the thing is, it's hard when the biggest records on your albums, the hits, so to speak, are that good. Because not a lot of the times when you get the hits, you're like, but the album is actually better. Like, the songs on the album actually better. No, the hits on this album were some of the best songs on the album, and even the songs that weren't the hits were all very well made, well done. The production.
I keep making that argument about Lil Yachty, and no one wants to listen to me. So it's rough.
Let me know when
joke.
Yeah, being a Lil Yachty fan is gonna be rough for you.
Yeah, let me know.
He has those.
Let me know. An album? Let me know when you guys do that discography, so I won't be in town.
All right,
so
cool,
make
great,
sure.
Yeah.
This is rough, but again.
If you had to pick between the two, number one, number two,
number one, I would have to pick Stankonia.
I mean, I haven't changed my mind, so
okay,
we're
so
2 and 2.
Aquemini.
And
I'm still
but the thing, It's rough because I can wake up tomorrow and be like, shit, I should have picked Aquaman. So that's what's rough about this because...
Here's what I will say. I can read a room. I'm also the host of the show, but I can read a room. I know what's going to happen. I love that we're talking about Aquemini in the way that we are because I genuinely think, in terms of everything OutKast done, a lot of people view it as kind of like Stankonia onward. I think a lot of like casual fans or whatever. I think legitimately, as much as the first 2 albums are great and must be listened to, Aquemini legitimately is a classic that no one has really appreciated in the same level. I don't think it's talked about in the same regards.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that critics talk about it in that regard.
Exactly.
Right.
It's probably their most critical.
I can tell you go to the South, people that like hip hop, they're gonna put it.
Yeah, because critically speaking, Aquemini is like,
Yeah,
you know,
golden.
But what I like about Stankonia that Aquemini doesn't do is that while it's critically just so phenomenal, Pat, and I can appreciate it, Stankonia brought some of that same energy, but also made it bigger in a sense, to where like my grandmother listened to songs off Stankonia. Mm-hmm. She wasn't big on hip hop at all, like, but I can go in and she'd wake up to So Fresh So Clean is on. I'm like, wow, like my grandma's playing So Fresh So Clean. It's crazy, and it just has so much. So it's for me. It's almost not. It's almost like I could rate these two exactly the same.
Time for number 1.
But I get more from Stankonia because it just offers more. But this is rough because I really am feeling Aquemini because, again, if I had to pick a favorite song, if I had to combine both these albums in one, pick a favorite song, it's the art of storytelling. Mm-hmm. So,
but one amazing song does not make a whole album.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you love both albums completely, and you had... Okay, let's put it like this. Damn it.
Let's give it to Stankonia.
See, I can tell you where I get my argument too. Because Aquemini is like they're taking you to a weird part of like Atlanta or where they grew up, while Stankonia is them putting themselves out in the universe. Mm-hmm. Those are the two things I can tell you. Art of storytelling, this is a story from where I came from. Bombs over Baghdad or Explosion, this is me throwing that shit out to everywhere. Right. Yeah. And I think that's where the big difference is. Mind you, Art of storytelling is the jam, and I still have dreams where I wake up talking about Who Wants to Fight Hollywood Cole. So, like, I get it. I love me some Spodiote, Dope Delicious. And there, again, I would even argue between the first 4 albums, it is very close. But Stankonia gets the edge.
Yeah, I think Stankonia is...
Yeah, and that's the tough thing. One of the things I said during the Kendrick Lamar episode, not to like talk about how great I am, but I am, is I talked about how hip hop is weirdly locational. Like, unlike rock bands or country artists, like where you come from is extremely important in that regard. It's where you represent. And the thing I love about artists like, and Kendrick kind of did it too, where like, although he represents Compton hard, he also created an imaginary place of Section 80. Yeah, not Section 8. Like he created this different realm all to itself. And that's exactly what they did.
I'm not gonna argue y'all on y'all's podcast that I wasn't on, that y'all already been on. We won't have that conversation.
That's a happy hour meeting, so don't worry. Exactly. But like legitimately though, and so the same thing here. They represent ATL hard. They take everything they love about it though, but they also created their own place as well. They created a realm that they reference constantly over and on again. They created their own universe, and they tried it again with Idlewild and didn't work out as well. Stankonia was where.
Okay. Yeah. Quick note on that. So they wanted to make a movie for Aquemini, and they couldn't get the funding for it, so they saved the idea and did it later for Idlewild. Can you imagine if we had gotten an Aquemini movie? That would have been so fucking cool.
Well, I don't know, man. I feel like their acting skills would have only been worse further in the past.
Okay. And they were not good in Idlewild. Fair enough. All right, guys, let's lock it in. Number 6, Idlewild. Number 5, Speakerbox The Love Below. Number 4, Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music. Number 3, AT Aliens. Number 2, Aquemini. And the number 1 album is, of course, the single of Land of a Million Drums from Scooby-Doo soundtrack. I'm kidding. No, it's Stankonia. So guys, listen, as you know, we have had a lot to say about OutKast, but you know what? We have a lot more to say. That's what the Happy Hour Minisode is for, because we need to talk about whether or not there is a debate of the best lyricist, what the fuck happened to them, all the terrible things you don't know about Idlewild. There's a lot to get into. Best guest verses. Oh my god. We're going to get into it. So in the meantime, though, Zheryk, Shannon, thank you so much for being here and for having this debate, and I love it, so I appreciate it. In the meantime, though, I would
is
say,
fucking awesome.
please do us a favor. If you like what you heard, please like us and subscribe on Facebook, on iTunes, and SoundCloud, and all the other places. And remember, when you leave a review on iTunes, it helps us out because other people see the show. They're like, oh, this has a lot of great reviews. Unless you give us a terrible review. You know what? I get it. I had some crap opinions. It's okay. I get it. Please do that. In the meantime, though, keep on listening because you know that will be. Thanks so much and have a good one.
I thought that I could myself.
Okay, Shannon, say something.
Hello. Scoobity poopity doo.
You could probably crank it up a little bit now. I'm thinking about it. There we go.
Yowski, wowski, speaksy, wheesky.
Yipsky doopsky, poopsky woopsky.
All right.
Scoop de poop, de poop scoop.
I hope this is all part of the podcast.
You know,